This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the B Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at bpodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. I am Karen Dudek-Brannan. I was a school SLP for 14 years where I specialized in language literacy and executive functioning and also held various teaching, leadership, and research roles. Now, I am the host of the De facto Leaders podcast on the B Podcast Network, where I help school therapists, teachers, and administrators be leaders on their school teams no matter their job title. Recently, I recorded an episode about creating systems for your self-care. And one of the first steps that I recommended in this process was doing a time audit. So when you do a time audit, what you're doing is you are journaling how you spend your time over a certain time period. And the whole point of this process is to establish where you are so you can figure out where you need to start making some changes. So to learn more about how to do that, you're going to want to go to the episode that's called Plan Your Systems Before Your Self-Care. So check that out to learn more about how to do that strategy. What I wanted to talk about today was troubleshooting the time audit because I had a great question. It was actually from my husband as he was listening to my episode. And he said, what if people change their behavior while they're auditing their time because they don't want to be fully honest with themselves about how they're spending their time? So this was a good point. This can actually happen, and it's called the Hawthorne effect. And this just means that when people are being observed or measured or assessed, that sometimes they change their behavior because they know someone's watching them. This could happen in education when maybe you know that your administrator is going to evaluate you, or maybe it even happens with kids when they know that they're being tested or watched. So this is a true phenomenon. So it is important that you just go into your time audit with the awareness of the fact that you might be subconsciously changing your behavior because you know that you're journaling and tracking. So the next question becomes, okay, let's say that you are influenced by the fact that you're journaling. Is this necessarily a bad thing? The answer to that question is no, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you audit your time for a few days and then you don't make any changes after that time audit. If you audit your time and you realize that you need to be super mindful of the fact that you might be changing your behavior, that's actually okay, as long as you maintain those changes. The main thing here is that we want to focus on the end result, which is helping you create new habits and find ways that you can be more efficient with your time. For a number of reasons. One, we want to make you more effective so that you can find better ways that you can spend your time and show up for your students and the other people and activities in your life that are important to you, and so that you can make sure that you are giving yourself a chance to recharge. So, does the time audit make you change your behavior? Are you going to get 100% accuracy with the audit itself if you are self-evaluating? Probably not, but that might be okay, as long as you are aware and as long as you use that process to make changes for the long term. This isn't a perfect system, but it is something that's going to help you establish that level of awareness in a way that helps you to create change in the future. Thanks for listening, and whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.